walk with me, it says, except that today it isn't a walk as such. There's a bit of a coach ride, and then we're going on a trip on the Settle and Carlisle Railway, or at least the first part of it. This video is going to be divided into two sessions, about 25 minutes each one, I guess. A lot of it is going to be took out the train window because that's basically the only way we can do it now. Gone are the days when you can stand by a doorway, open the window, put your camera out. You can't do that anymore on service trains. Even so, I hope you'll enjoy the ride and the visit and the sensation of actually travelling as if you were sitting right next to me and seeing what I see. The first part of the journey is actually over the, I suppose it must be the top of the Dales from Harrogate to Skipton. I'd expected a ride through a sort of semi-industrialised, urbanised northern part of the Leeds Conurbation area, but no, we went over the A59, we went over a pass, and we went past the giant golf balls at RAF Menwith. So there was a bit to see on the way, but it was a lovely rural ride, I must admit. Then we had our trip on the railway, and well, as the two videos unfold, you'll see what happens next. And there indeed are those very golf balls. RAF Harrogate or RAF Menwith, whichever you'd like to call it.
When you looked at it, it had gouged up.
As you can see, the scenery through here was totally not what I was expecting. And then, as I say, we ended up going over this, I don't think you could call it a mountain pass, but it was definitely a pass that took us over a range of hills, and some of the views were quite stunning, so, and the rock formations. So just sit back and enjoy the ride to Skipton. Skipton Station, the start of our scenic journey to Carlisle this morning, but also the end of the electrification, I suppose you might call it, the Leeds metro area. I just missed one of the modern CAF units leaving, but there is a train due in very shortly that's going to Leeds, so I'll get some photographs of that when it arrives. But it's nice the way they've preserved the canopies here. Certainly very nice. What would that have been? Maybe Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway stuff? I don't know. It's actually the Midland Railway. Certainly very nice. All very modern in the entrance though. Ticket gates and glass, and not going to let you in without ticket, that sort of thing. Maybe a bit over heavy on security, but I suppose that's today, isn't it? So we now await the arrival of another modern unit. This is, although these are not really that old, they're considered ancient now. The class 333. Very similar to the now scrap trains on the Heathrow Airport run, I think. Very quiet electric trains. And this train terminates here, goes back to Leeds.
Arriving at Gargrave.
If you are leaving the train here, mind the gap between the train and platform edge.
The northern service to Carlisle. The next stop is Harrogate.
These class 158s, they are so noisy. We're pulling into Hellifield now. This was once quite an important junction station, but as you will see, very much a shadow of its former self, and I hate to see things run down like this.
This is Hellifield. This is the northern service to Carlisle. The next stop is Long Preston.
Long Preston is a junction station, and this is where we part company with the line that goes across towards Morecambe and the once a day train to connect with the Isle of Man ferry at Heysham.
stop is Settle.
The Shetland Carlisle line was built by the Midland Railway as its alternative route to Scotland, and all the way along this line you'll find the stations have been preserved to a very high standard. Lovely. And considering how it almost closed, it's a joy to see the sights, hear the sounds and look at the views. It is certainly one of the most scenic lines you'll find, but difficult to fully appreciate from this particular type of train. I don't know why. However, there it is, Settle Station. The water tower has been converted into residential accommodation, and the signal box has been relocated, I should say. There you see it at this end of the platform, and is now a museum that's open to the public. Very nice indeed.
This is the northern service to Carlisle. The next stop is Horton in Ribblesdale.
Ribblesdale is where we really start getting out into the wilds and really getting some lovely scenery. Magnificent. Well, we're certainly heading across the roof of England there, that's for sure, up towards the summit of the line, and about to cross the famous Ribblehead Viaduct, arguably the most spectacular item on the line. Having said that, it's very difficult to appreciate it when you're actually sitting on the train. All you can do is to admire the view all round, but also take a look at that over there. There's all these cars and people who have come out to walk just to look at the viaduct. So it does give you an idea of what an attraction it is. And this was the cause of the line so very nearly closing. They thought it would cost too much to renovate it. In the end, a cheaper solution was found, but it did involve singling the track across here, which is why we're on a single line and lower speed. But look at the amount of people down there just coming out to watch us as we cross. We are about to pass Bleemore signal box. This is considered to be England's most remote signal box. It is still a mechanical signal box, and Network Rail chooses to keep it that way. It controls a loop here which is designed to allow freight trains to be held while passenger trains pass them. It's also a turnback loop for the last train service out of Leeds every evening, which terminates at Ribblehead of all places. Talk about an interesting quirk, and very shortly we'll be going into Bleemore Tunnel. That could be interesting, and we will emerge out the other side onto Denthead Viaduct. So get ready for a bit of darkness.
This is Den. This is Den. The next stop is Garsdale.
Well, we're almost at the summit now, but here we are at Garsdale. A rather sad tale to tell here. In 1990, Graham Nuttall, who was very active in the Settle and Carlisle, the Friends of Settle and Carlisle Association, went out for a walk one winter with his dog Russ Warp and never came home. They found his body weeks later on a mountainside, and after 11 weeks his dog Russ Warp, very, very weak, was still standing guard by his owner's side. He was in a bad way. He was given the best of veterinary care, but it's almost as if he didn't want to go until he knew his owner was safely at rest. And Russ Warp died very shortly after Graham's funeral. In 2009, a bronze statue was unveiled here at Garsdale to celebrate the life of Russ Warp, a dog who really was his man's best friend.
The next stop is Kirkby Stephen.
the sad news. The exciting thing for me here was to see the remnants of the old line that used to go from here out to Hawes and across Wensleydale to join the East Coast main line at Northallerton. And as we go along this next section, you'll see it curving away. It's in use as a PW department at the moment, but you'll then see the line of the old railway curving away over a disused bridge, and then just have a look on the mountainside and you'll see where the line was built on a ledge, and you see it curving away in the distance towards Hawes. I'd love to see that reopen one day. There he goes, you see it? Disappearing round the corner. And away on the ledge, up into Wensleydale. Now I don't know how you pronounce this, whether it's A-skill or I-skill, but we're over the summit now, and it's the highest point on any mainline railway in England. We're making our way down now towards Kirkby Stephen, where this first half of the video will end. I think that'd be a nice place to take a little break. As you can see, despite its rather remote location, Kirkby Stephen is quite an active station. I noticed some new wagons in the yard there. Whether this is a delivery point or what, I don't know. But all the way along the Sutherland Carlisle, there's little what they call virtual sidings that have been put up to serve small quarries and things. Ribblehead is one that immediately springs to mind. Virtual quarries, virtual sidings, call them what you like. Looks like there's a lot of permanent way activity here, and stuff that goes beyond the realms of pure passenger use, which is very, very good to see, considering its rather uncertain future at one time. There used to be another station here, Kirkby Stephen East, which is a little way down the road from this one, and that is the centre of, I think they call themselves now, the Stainmore Railway Society. This was where the line used to come from Appleby, and we'll see that end of it hopefully a little bit later, out through Kirkby Stephen and out across Stainmore towards, I think it ended up at Middleton and Teesdale and then Barnard Castle, if my memory serves me correctly. If I'm wrong, there's no doubt people will shoot me down in flames. It took the line across probably the most frightening and famous steel viaduct in the country, the Beelar Viaduct. And if you don't know what I'm on about, go on Wikipedia or whatever you want to look at and take a look at that. That was destroyed with undue haste after the line closed, but a tribute to metal and steel engineering, I must say. But it must have been a frightening viaduct to go over for the locomotive crews, particularly in winter. But anyway, that's Kirkby Stephen, and I think this is where we'll take a little break. I'll end this first half of the video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know railway travel for some of you can be a bit boring, and I would be the first to admit that bits of dirt on the windows and everything else isn't making it the most exciting of videos, but it's what I saw. It's my journey, it's experiencing my journey, I hope you do feel as though you've been sitting along beside me, and that you've appreciated the little extra bits of information I've tried to give to you. See you in part 2.